Eat peanut butter before bed after 50, and your body may thank you overnight. Why are so many adults over 50 suddenly eating peanut butter before bed, and should you be doing it too? That's exactly what we're digging into today. And honestly, when I first came across this, I thought it sounded a little odd. Peanut butter before sleep, but then I looked at the research, and what I found genuinely caught me off guard. Here's something most people over 50 don't realize. After midnight, your body is actually doing some of its most important work. It's repairing muscle. It's balancing blood sugar. It's getting your brain ready for the next day. And what you eat right before bed can either support all of that or quietly work against it. According to a review from researchers at Harvard Medical School, overnight blood sugar dips are one of the leading hidden causes of poor sleep quality in adults over 50. Most people wake up groggy and blame their age, but the real reason might be something much simpler. Stay with me, because in the next few minutes, I'm going to walk you through exactly what peanut butter does inside your body while you sleep, who should be eating it, who needs to be cautious, and the single best way to eat it for maximum benefit. Before we get into peanut butter specifically, I want to make sure you understand something most people completely miss. Your body doesn't shut down when you fall asleep, it shifts into repair mode. And this becomes especially important once you're past 50. Here's what's happening beneath the surface while you lie in bed tonight. Your muscles are going through what scientists call micro repair. Tiny breakdowns from the day are being rebuilt, fiber by fiber. Your brain is literally flushing out waste products, cleaning itself. Your heart rate slows, your blood pressure eases, and your cells work hard to reset your hormones for the morning ahead. This is real biology, and it happens every single night, whether you support it or not. Here's where it gets especially important for you. After 50, this nighttime repair process starts to slow down. Your body produces less growth hormone during sleep, your muscles don't recover as efficiently, and your blood sugar, this is the big one, becomes far less stable overnight than it was in your 30s or 40s. What does that look like in real life? You might wake up at 2 or 3 in the morning for no clear reason. You feel stiff and heavy in the morning, even after a full 8 hours. Your energy feels off before you've even had your first cup of coffee. Sound familiar? A large study published in the journal Sleep Medicine Reviews found that adults over 50 experience significantly more nighttime blood sugar swings compared to younger adults, and those swings directly disrupt deep sleep. Most people don't connect those dots. They think it's just aging, they accept it. But here's what I want you to understand. It doesn't have to be that way. What you eat in that small window before bed, roughly 30 to 60 minutes before you lie down, can directly influence every single one of those processes. The right food can give your body the raw materials it needs to repair, stabilize, and restore. The wrong choice leaves your system scrambling, and that's when sleep suffers. So the real question isn't just, is peanut butter okay before bed? The real question is, what does your body actually need at night to perform its best? Once you understand that, the peanut butter answer becomes obvious. If you're still with me, it tells me you genuinely care about your health, and that already puts you ahead of most people. Keep watching, because next I'm going to show you exactly what peanut butter does to your blood sugar while you sleep, and why that matters more than almost anything else on this list. Let's start with blood sugar, because this is the foundation of everything else we'll cover today. When most people hear blood sugar, they think diabetes, they think medication, they think it's someone else's problem. But here's the truth. Blood sugar instability affects nearly every adult over 50, whether they've been diagnosed with anything or not. Here's what happens on a typical night with no evening snack. You finish dinner around 6 or 7 in the evening. By the time you go to bed, your last meal was 4 or 5 hours ago. Your body has been slowly burning through the glucose from that meal, and by midnight, your blood sugar has dropped. When it drops too low, your body sends out a quiet alarm. It releases stress hormones, cortisol, and adrenaline to pull stored sugar back into your bloodstream, and those stress hormones wake you up. Not with a jolt, not dramatically, just enough to pull you out of deep sleep, just enough to leave you feeling restless. Just enough to make you exhausted by morning, even after 8 hours in bed. Does that sound familiar? Now here's where peanut butter becomes genuinely interesting. Peanut butter has a very low glycemic index, meaning it doesn't spike your blood sugar quickly and then crash it back down. Instead, it releases energy slowly and steadily over several hours. It carries a balanced mix of protein, healthy fat, and a small amount of complex carbohydrate. And that combination is exactly what your body needs to keep blood sugar stable through the night. Research from the American Diabetes Association shows that low glycemic foods eaten before sleep can significantly reduce overnight glucose swings, especially in adults over 50. Think of it like placing a slow-burning log on a fire before you go to sleep. It doesn't flare up, it doesn't roar. It just holds steady, quiet, and warm all night long. That's what peanut butter does for your blood sugar. And when your blood sugar stays stable, your stress hormones stay calm, your body stays in repair mode, and your sleep stays deep. Still with me? Good, because what comes next connects directly to how well you actually fall asleep in the first place. Let's talk about sleep quality, not just sleep duration, because here's something most people don't know. You can spend 8 hours in bed and still get terrible sleep. And the reason often comes down to what your brain has available to work with at night. Melatonin is your primary sleep hormone. Your brain starts producing it as the sun goes down. It's what makes you feel naturally drowsy in the evening. But here's the catch. Melatonin production requires raw materials. Specifically, it needs an amino acid called tryptophan to kick off the process. Tryptophan converts into serotonin. First, your calming, feel-good brain chemical, and then serotonin converts into melatonin. It's a chain reaction, and if that chain breaks anywhere along the way, your sleep suffers. Now, peanuts are a natural source of tryptophan, not the highest source out there, but a meaningful one. And here's what makes peanut butter uniquely effective for this process. The healthy fats in peanut butter actually help tryptophan cross the blood-brain barrier more efficiently. Let me say that again in plain language. The fat helps get the sleep chemical into your brain faster and more effectively. A study published in the Journal of Psychiatric Research found that evening dietary fat intake was positively linked to tryptophan availability in the brain, which directly supported melatonin production in older adults. So you're not just eating a snack, you're giving your brain the building blocks it needs to produce its own natural sleep hormone. That's not a small thing. That's genuinely powerful. And here's a question we're sitting with for a moment. How many nights have you lain there staring at the ceiling, frustrated, wondering why sleep doesn't come as easily as it used to? What if part of the answer has been sitting in your pantry the whole time? Keep watching because we're just getting started. Let's talk about something a lot of people over 50 deal with, but rarely bring up: waking up hungry in the middle of the night, or lying in bed unable to fall asleep because your stomach is quietly grumbling. Not loudly, just enough to be distracting. This isn't weakness. This isn't overeating. This is biology. As we age, our hunger hormones shift. Ghrelin, the hormone that signals your brain that you need food, becomes more sensitive. And leptin, the hormone that says you're satisfied and can stop eating, becomes less effective. This is a well-documented change that happens in the body after 50. It's not your imagination. And when those hormones are out of balance at night, sleep becomes fragmented. You wake up, you can't get comfortable, and by morning you're exhausted and often hungrier than you should be. So what does peanut butter do about this? Two specific things. First, the protein in peanut butter directly suppresses ghrelin. Studies from the European Journal of Clinical Nutrition have shown that a small protein-rich snack before bed can meaningfully reduce overnight ghrelin spikes, keeping that feed me signal quieter through the night. Second, the fat content in peanut butter slows gastric emptying. That's just a fancy way of saying your stomach empties more slowly, so the satisfied feeling lasts longer. You're not stuffed, you're not heavy, you're just comfortable, and comfortable means sleep. One important note here, we're not talking about a large snack. We're talking about a small, intentional amount. I'll give you the exact quantity a little later in this video, so make sure you stay with me until the end. This chapter is especially important if you exercise even lightly, even if it's just walking. Because here's what most people don't realize. Muscle doesn't grow or repair itself at the gym. It repairs while you sleep. Every step you take, every staircase you climb, every bag of groceries you carry, these all create tiny microstresses in your muscle fibers. That's completely normal. That's healthy. But the repair only happens at night during deep sleep when your body releases growth hormone and gets to work. The problem is that after 50, your body becomes less efficient at this repair process. Scientists call it anabolic resistance. Your muscles simply don't respond to protein as strongly as they once did. You need more protein, delivered more strategically, to get the same result. And this is exactly where nighttime protein becomes a real game changer. A landmark study published in Medicine and Science and Sports and Exercise found that consuming protein before sleep significantly improved overnight muscle protein synthesis in older adults, meaning muscle actually rebuilt itself more effectively during the night. 2 tablespoons of peanut butter contains around 7 to 8 grams of protein. That's not a huge amount, but at night, when your body is in full repair mode and needs a steady amino acid supply, even this modest amount makes a measurable difference. Think of it like leaving the right tools out on the workbench before the night crew comes in. If you're someone who deals with muscle stiffness in the morning, that creaky, heavy feeling when you first get out of bed, this might be one of the most relevant things you've heard in a while. Your body genuinely wants to repair itself. It just needs the right support to do it well. Let's talk about mornings specifically, that groggy, slow, where am I feeling that so many adults over 50 have come to accept as just normal life. Most people blame their age, or they blame poor sleep, or they reach for an extra cup of coffee and push through. But here's what's actually happening in many cases. When your blood sugar dropped overnight and your body released stress hormones to compensate, those hormones are still slightly elevated when you wake up. Your cortisol is higher than it should be first thing in the morning. Your body is already in a low-level stress state before the day has even begun. That translates directly into brain fog, low motivation, that heavy, dragging feeling that takes hours to shake off. Now flip that picture. When your blood sugar stayed stable overnight thanks to that slow-releasing combination of protein and fat from peanut butter, your stress hormones stayed calm, your body completed its repair cycles undisturbed, and your brain woke up in a genuinely rested state. The result? You open your eyes and you feel ready. Not perfect, not superhuman, just clear, present, and actually rested. Research published in Nutritional Neuroscience found that stable overnight blood glucose was one of the strongest predictors of morning mental clarity in adults, over 55 stronger, in fact, than total sleep duration. So it's not just about how many hours you sleep, it's about the quality of what's happening during those hours. And that small spoonful of peanut butter before bed is quietly supporting every minute of it. I want to go a little deeper here, because peanut butter isn't just protein and fat. There's a mineral inside it that most people over 50 are quietly deficient in, and it affects sleep, muscle function, heart rhythm, and stress levels all at once. That mineral is magnesium. 2 tablespoons of natural peanut butter contains roughly 49 milligrams of magnesium. That's not a trivial amount. Here's why it matters. Magnesium is often called the relaxation mineral, and for good reason. It activates your parasympathetic nervous system, the part of your brain that tells your body to calm down, slow the heart rate, and prepare for sleep. It also plays a direct role in regulating GABA, a neurotransmitter that quiets brain activity and makes it easier to both fall asleep and stay asleep. A large review from magnesium research found that low magnesium levels were strongly linked to insomnia, nighttime muscle cramps, and poor sleep efficiency in adults over 50. And the numbers are concerning. Research suggests that a significant portion of American adults simply don't get enough magnesium from their daily diet. Now, combine that with the healthy monounsaturated fats in peanut butter, the same type found in olive oil and avocado. These fats actively work to reduce overnight inflammation, and chronic low-grade inflammation is one of the core reasons older adults feel stiff, sore, and mentally foggy in the morning. So when you eat peanut butter before bed, you're not just having a snack. You're getting magnesium to calm your nervous system. You're getting healthy fats to quiet inflammation. You're getting protein to rebuild your muscles all while you sleep. That's a remarkable amount of work from just 2 tablespoons. Now, I know what some of you are thinking. Eating before bed causes weight gain. Everyone knows that. I hear this all the time, and I want to address it directly because the science tells a more nuanced story. The idea that eating before bed automatically leads to weight gain is an oversimplification. What actually matters is your total daily caloric intake and the type of food you're eating late at night. High sugar snacks before bed, yes, those can promote fat storage, disrupt insulin, and interfere with your metabolism during sleep. But a small protein and fat-rich snack like peanut butter, the research tells a very different story. A study from Florida State University found that a small protein-rich nighttime snack around 150 calories actually improved metabolism and did not contribute to fat gain in healthy adults. In fact, it slightly improved resting metabolic rate by morning. Here's the mechanism. When you sleep hungry with blood sugar crashing overnight, your body interprets that as a mild starvation signal, and the body's response to starvation is to slow metabolism down and hold on to fat. When you give your body a small, steady fuel source instead, it stays in repair and burn mode all night long. So for adults over 50 who are keeping an eye on their weight, a small portion of peanut butter before bed isn't the enemy. Done right, it might actually support your goals. The key word there is small, and I'll cover the exact amount in just a moment. Let's talk about your heart for a moment, because for many of you watching, heart health isn't just an abstract concept, it's personal. Maybe you've had a scare. Maybe someone close to you has. Maybe your doctor has mentioned cholesterol or blood pressure, and it's been quietly sitting in the back of your mind. This chapter is for you. Peanut butter is rich in monounsaturated and polyunsaturated fats, the same heart protective fats researchers have been pointing to for decades. These fats actively work to raise HDL, your good cholesterol, while lowering LDL, the kind that can build up in your arterial walls. A long-term study published in the New England Journal of Medicine found that regular consumption of nuts and nut butter was associated with a significantly lower risk of cardiovascular events, including heart attack and stroke in adults over 50. But here's the nighttime angle specifically. Your blood pressure naturally dips during sleep, or at least it should. This nighttime dip is critically important for cardiovascular recovery. But in many older adults, this dip doesn't happen the way it should, a condition doctors call non-dipping, and it's associated with increased heart risk. Research suggests that stable blood sugar and reduced cortisol overnight, both supported by a low glycemic bedtime snack, are linked to healthier nighttime blood pressure patterns. So that small spoonful of peanut butter isn't just helping you sleep, it might be quietly supporting your heart every single night. All right, let's get practical. Because peanut butter on its own is good, but paired with the right foods, it becomes even more effective. Here are the 3 combinations I recommend most often and why each one works. Combination 1, peanut butter plus banana. This is probably the most well-known pairing, and there's a solid reason for that. Bananas are rich in potassium and magnesium, both of which support muscle relaxation and help reduce nighttime cramps. They also contain a small amount of tryptophan and natural sugars that provide a gentle, quick glucose boost, while the peanut butter slows that release down significantly. Together, they create a smooth, sustained energy curve that carries you through the night. 1 medium banana with 1 tablespoon of peanut butter. Simple, effective, and honestly delicious. Combination 2, peanut butter plus whole grain toast. Whole grain toast adds complex carbohydrates, the slow digesting kind that feed your gut bacteria, support serotonin production, and provide a steady stream of glucose overnight. The fiber in whole grain bread also slows digestion even further, extending that satisfied feeling longer. This combination works especially well for people who tend to wake up hungry or who exercise regularly and need a little extra overnight fuel for muscle recovery. 1 slice of whole grain toast with 1 to 2 tablespoons of peanut butter. That's it. Combination 3, peanut butter plus apple slices. This is the one I most often recommend for people keeping an eye on their weight. Apples are high in pectin, a type of soluble fiber that feeds beneficial gut bacteria and supports overnight metabolic function. The natural sugar in apples is beautifully buffered by the fat and protein in peanut butter, so there's no blood sugar spike. It's also light, refreshing, and easy on the stomach, which matters when you're eating close to bedtime. Half an apple with 1 tablespoon of peanut butter, light, satisfying, and metabolically smart. All 3 combinations work well. Choose the one that fits your lifestyle best or rotate through them across the week. Not all peanut butter is created equal, and this matters more than most people think. Many popular brands are loaded with added sugars like corn syrup or dextrose, plus hydrogenated or partially hydrogenated oils. These ingredients turn a genuinely healthy food into something that can spike blood sugar, increase inflammation, and work directly against your sleep goals. If you see the words hydrogenated or partially hydrogenated oils on the label, put it back on the shelf. The good news is that real peanut butter is beautifully simple. The best option has just 2 ingredients, peanuts and maybe a little salt. That's it. Yes, the oil separates. Yes, you have to stir it. But that's actually a good sign. It means you're eating a natural, unprocessed product. Look for labels that say natural, no added sugar, or no hydrogenated oils. Don't be swayed by what's printed on the front of the jar. Always check the ingredient list. If you want an alternative, almond butter is also an excellent choice, offering very similar benefits with slightly more magnesium per serving. Peanut butter before bed isn't the right fit for everyone, and it's important to be upfront about that. If you have a peanut allergy, avoid it completely and consider alternatives like almond butter or sunflower seed butter instead. For those dealing with acid reflux or GERD, high-fat foods at night may worsen symptoms by relaxing the lower esophageal sphincter and allowing acid to rise. Start with a very small amount or check with your doctor first. If you're managing type 2 diabetes with medication, bedtime snacks can affect your blood sugar timing in ways that matter. Always check with your healthcare provider before making this a nightly habit. And if you're in a strict calorie deficit, even healthy calories at night, 100 to 200, may slow your weight loss progress. So track your total daily intake carefully. For most healthy adults over 50, though, this habit is generally safe and genuinely beneficial. Now, for the key practical question, how much should you actually eat and when? The ideal amount is 1 to 2 tablespoons of natural peanut butter taken 30 to 60 minutes before bed. That gives you roughly 90 to 190 calories, enough to support stable blood sugar, a meaningful magnesium boost, and better sleep quality without feeling heavy or overly full. If you're pairing it with a banana, apple, or toast, stick to 1 tablespoon. If you're eating it on its own, 2 tablespoons is just right. And timing does matter. Don't eat it right as you're climbing into bed. Give your body at least 30 minutes to begin digesting properly. Most importantly, consistency matters far more than perfection. Doing this 4 to 5 nights a week over several weeks is where the real changes show up: better sleep, fewer nighttime awakenings, and steadier energy when you wake up in the morning. So there you have it. One simple, affordable habit backed by real science and practical for almost anyone. Peanut butter before bed isn't a magic cure, but for adults over 50, it's one of the smartest, most accessible things you can do to support your sleep, your muscles, your blood sugar, and your heart all at the same time. Your body is working incredibly hard for you every single night. The least we can do is give it the right tools to do that job well. If this video gave you something useful, something you'll actually try, go ahead and hit that like button. It genuinely helps this channel reach more people who could benefit from this kind of information. Right here on Over 60, these 8 powerful foods help lower blood sugar. Naturally, everything we share is designed to help you live stronger, sleep better, and feel more like yourself at every age. I'll see you in the next one. If you found this video helpful, please hit the like button. It really helps the channel. And don't forget to subscribe and hit the subscribe button so you don't miss the next videos. I love hearing your thoughts, so please subscribe and let me know what you think. Thanks for watching, and see you in the next video.